check stocks. The ERC20 is implemented through it. ERC20 token keeps track of fungible tokens. Any one token. The token blockchain most powerful and misunderstood tool. A token is a representation of something in the blockchain. This is something that can be money, time, services, shares in company, virtual, anything. For representing things as a token, we can allow smart contracts to interact with them, exchange them, and create them or destroy them. But first, coffee. Oh, a primer on token contracts. Much of the confusion surrounding tokens comes from two concepts getting mixed up: token contracts and the actual tokens. A token contract is simply an Ethereum smart contract sending tokens. Actually means calling a method on a smart contract that someone wrote and deployed. So sending a token, somebody else built that, basically code base, and then somebody called it with either user interfaces, clicking a button and requesting a transfer or signing a contract or transaction and approving it, usually done through MetaMask. So tokens within the balance, contract is 0, that's it. These balances could be considered money, experience points in a game, deeds, ownership, voting rights, different kinds of tokens. There's difference between having voting rights and 2 deeds of ownership. Each vote is equal to all others, but houses usually are not. This is called fungibility. Fungible tokens are equivalent and interchangeable, like Ether. Fiat currencies and voting rights. Non-fungible goods are unique and distinct, like deeds of ownership or collectibles. In a nutshell, when dealing with non-fungibles like your house, you care about which ones you have. While in fungible assets like your bank account statement, what matters is how much you have. Even though the concept of a token is simple, there are a variety of complexities in the implementation because everything in Ethereum is just a smart contract and there are no rules what smart contracts can do. The community has developed a variety of standards called EIPs or ERCs for document how a contract can incorporate with other contracts. You've probably heard of the ERC20, ERC 721 token standards. That's why you're here. Head to our specialized guides to learn more about these. So ERC20 token contracts keep track of fungible tokens. Any one token is exactly equal to any other token. No tokens have special rights, behaviors associated with them. Useful things like medium exchange, voting rights, staking. That makes sense. Constructing an ERC20 contract using ERC20 contracts can easily create our own ERC20 token contract, which will be used to track gold, an internal currency in a hypothetical game. Here's what a GLD token might look like. Pragma, Solidity, Open Zeppelin. Gold is ERC20 constructor, the UN256, initial supply. ERC20 gold, we'll call it gold. Mint it, message center, initial supply. Our contracts are often used via inheritance. Note that we color to forward the mint requests the way the system is populated in this example below. Inheritance supports multiple inheritance, including polymorphism, means that a function always executes a function the same name, the most derived contract in the inheritance hierarchy. This has to be explicitly enabled on each function in the hierarchy using the virtual and override keywords. See function overriding for more details. It is possible to call functions further up the inheritance hierarchy internally by explicitly specifying the contract using contract name, function name, or using superfunction name. If you want to call a function one level higher up in the flattened inheritance hierarchy, see below. When a contract inherits from other contracts, only a single contract is created on the blockchain. And the code from all the base contracts is compiled into create a contract. This means that all internal calls to functions of base contracts also just use internal function calls. Super F will use jump and not a message call. State variable shadowing is considered as an error. Derived contracts can only declare a state variable if there is no visible state variable with the same name in any of its bases. The general inheritance system is very similar to Python, especially concerning multiple inheritance, but there are also some differences. Details are given in the example below. So inheritance or contracts are often using inheritance or using your sample standard. Implementation, the name, the symbol, decimals, some extensions for the contract. So a contract will have a name, it'll have a symbol, it'll have a decimal, it'll have a name, it'll have a which one's a symbol, decimals, message sender, mint, our contract inheritance. That's it. Once deployed, we will be able to create the deployer's balance of deployer's address. We can also transfer these tokens to other accounts. Gold token transfer other address. Gold token balance of the other address. So we transferred it. We called the balance of the other address. Nice. Note on decimals. Often you will be able to divide your tokens into arbitrary amounts. Say if you own 5 GLD, you may want to send 1.5 to a friend and keep the 8.5. Unfortunately, Solidity and Living do not support this behavior. Only integer whole numbers can be used, which poses an issue. You may send 1 or 2 tokens, but not 1.5. To work around this, provides a decimal field. ERC20 provides ERC decimal gets implemented. Okay, so I could type in back to this. Using an ERC wrapper with ERC4626. ERC4626 tokenized vaults. So it requires EIP20s, which are token contracts, just simple smart contracts. The following standard allows for the implementation of a standard API for tokenized vaults representing shares of a single underlying EIP20 token. This standard is an extension token that provides basic functionality for depositing and withdrawing tokens, reading balances, motivation. Tokenized vaults have a lack of standardization, leading to diverse implementation details. Some various examples include lending, markets aggregators, and intrinsically interest-bearing tokens. This makes integration difficult at the aggregator or plugin layer for protocols which need to conform to many standards. At the implementation layer or aggregator plugin layer, a standardized token vault will lower the integration effort. Standardized a standard for token vaults will create more consistent and robust implementation patterns. All EIP 4626 must implement EIP to represent shares. If vault is to be non-transferable, it may revert on calls, transfer from, operates, balance of, transfer total supply, etc. Operate on the vault shares. All EIP 46 must implement EIP's 20 optional metadata extensions. The name and symbol functions should reflect the underlying token's name and symbol in some way. Token vaults may implement to implement UX, approving user definitions, as well as token, share, the token of the vault, fee, and amount assets or shares charged by the user, charged to the user by the vault. Methods, assets, the address of the underlying token used for the vault for accounting, depositing, and withdrawing. It must be EIP20 token, which must not revert. Total assets convert to shares, convert to assets. So this is the 4626 helps with the conversions of the ERC20 tokens that are EIP20, EIP, ERC20, EIP is also ERC. Improvement process, Ethereum improvement proposals, convert to assets, max deposits, minting, preview the mint, draw name, withdraw, max redeem, preview redeem, withdraw rationale, security considerations. Okay. Graph with cooldown based on uncertainty earn yield generated by off-chain by delta neutral strategy. Delta neutral strategies. Delta neutral strategy is an optional portfolio approach that balances positive and negative deltas changes or the changes of zero, making the portfolio value stable against small fluctuations by limiting directional risk. Eliminates directional risk. Okay. And this stream, peace.